Hey guys, it's Steve, and today I'm reading right from the DSM-4 about borderline personality disorder, so you can kind of understand what the DSM is trying to say about it. So here we go. Borderline personality disorder according to DSM-4. The essential feature of borderline personality disorder is a pervasive pattern of instability of interpersonal relationships, self-image, and effects, and marked impulsivity that begins by early adulthood and is present in a variety of contexts. Individuals with borderline personality disorder make frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. That's the first criteria. The perception of impending separation or rejection or the loss of external structure can lead to profound changes in self image, affect, cognition, and behavior. These individuals are very sensitive to environmental circumstances. They experience intense abandonment fears and inappropriate anger, even when faced with a realistic time limited separation, or when there are unavoidable changes in plans. Sudden despair in reaction to a clinician's announcing the end of an hour, panic or fury when someone important to them is just a few minutes late or must cancel an appointment. They may believe that this abandonment implies they are bad. These abandonment fears are related to an intolerance of being alone and a need to have other people with them. Their frantic efforts to avoid abandonment may include impulsive actions such as self mutilation or suicidal behaviors. Individuals with borderline personality disorder have a pattern of unstable and intense relationships. They may idealize people or caregivers, lovers, the first or second time meeting them, demand to spend a lot of time together and share the most intimate details early in a relationship. However, they may switch quickly from idealizing other people to devaluing them, feeling that the other person does not care enough, does not give enough, is not there enough. These individuals can empathize with and nurture other people, but only with the expectation that the other person will, quote, be there in return to meet their own needs on demand. These individuals are prone to sudden and dramatic shifts in their view of others, who may alternately be seen as beneficent supports or as crucially punitive. Such shifts often reflect disillusionment with the caregiver whose nurturing qualities have been idealized or whose rejection or abandonment is expected. There may be an identity disturbance characterized by markedly and persistently unstable self-image or sense of self. There are sudden and dramatic shifts in self-image characterized by shifting goals, values, and vocational aspirations. There may be sudden changes in opinions and plans about careers, sexual identity, values, and types of friends. These individuals may suddenly change from the role of a needy supplicant for help to a righteous avenger of past mistreatment. Although they usually have a self-image that is based on being bad or evil, individuals with this disorder may at times have feelings that they do not exist at all. Such experiences usually occur in situations in which the individual feels a lack of meaningful relationships, nurturing, and support. These individuals may show worse performance in unstructured work or school situations. Individuals with this disorder display impulsivity in at least two areas that are potentially self-damaging. They may gamble, spend money irresponsibly, binge eat, abuse substances, engage in unsafe sex, or drive recklessly. Individuals with borderline personality disorder display recurrent suicidal behavior, gestures, or threats, or self-mutilating behavior. Completing suicide occurs in about 8 to 10% of such individuals, and self-mutilative acts, cutting or burning, and suicide threats and attempts are very common. Recurrent suicidality is often the reason that these individuals present for help. These self-destructive acts are usually precipitated by threats of separation or rejection or by expectations that they assume increased responsibility. Self-mutilation may occur during dissociative experiences and often brings relief by reaffirming the ability to feel or by expatiating the individual's sense of being evil. Individuals with borderline personality disorder may display affective instability that is due to a marked reactivity of mood, intense episodic dysphoria, irritability, or anxiety, usually lasting a few hours and only rarely for a few days. The basic dysphoric mood of those with borderline personality disorder is often disrupted by periods of anger, panic, or despair, and is rarely relieved by periods of well-being or satisfaction. These episodes may reflect the individual's extreme reactivity to interpersonal stresses. Individuals with borderline personality disorder may be troubled by chronic feelings of emptiness, easily bored, they may constantly seek something to do. Individuals with borderline personality disorder frequently express inappropriate, intense anger or have difficulty controlling their anger. They may display extreme sarcasm, enduring bitterness, or a verbal outburst. The anger is often elicited when a caregiver or lover is seen as neglectful, withholding, uncaring, or abandoning. Such expressions of anger are often followed by shame and guilt and contribute to the feeling they have of being evil. During periods of extreme stress, transient paranoid ideation or dissociative symptoms, depersonalization may occur. But these are generally of insufficient severity or duration to warrant an additional diagnosis. These episodes occur most frequently in response to a real or imagined abandonment. Symptoms tend to be transient, lasting minutes or hours. The real or perceived return of the caregiver's nurturance may result in a remission of symptoms. And that concludes that first paragraph, guys, on borderline personality disorder. It's an incredibly complicated disorder. They definitely go through the love-hate cycles. I actually have a family member that I feel is probably has BPD because she also kind of shows some love-hate with family as well. You know, a classic example would be they get along with a brother for a few weeks, few months, and then their brother's the bad guy, right? The brother's a big jerk. That would be an example of going from valuing to devaluing, something that borderline individuals do have. It occurs in their life. So they go from valuing someone to devaluing them. And that's what can cause such intense problems with the relationship and confusion for the partner. So, for weeks on end, they may be valuing you. Oh, you're the greatest boyfriend, girlfriend ever. And then once they switch to that devaluement, then the partner is just so confused because the partner's behavior has nothing to do with the borderline personality's timing of when things switch. It's all inside the person. It's really not controlled. It's kind of like an automatic response to go from like a love-hate cycle, but it can also be triggered, in my opinion. And we can get into further reading, but I believe that the hate cycles can also be triggered by upsetting situations. Like, for example, let's say you got in an argument with a friend that was BPD and you had to kick him out of your car. Now you're probably going to be in the hate cycle of devaluement. So that could be an example of a trigger that could cause a devaluement or a switch in the person's mind from going from valuing you to devaluing you. So guys, BPD is so complicated, but maybe we can get into a few more chapters in the future. Kind of like to read to you guys. Anyway, if you guys like my videos, you can subscribe. My name is Steve. You can like this video, share it with a fellow psychology person. I think anybody likes to learn about psychology, right? Antisocial personality disorder is one of my favorite disorders to study because I have so much experience with it. Basically, it starts as conduct disorder and then progresses into antisocial personality disorder as an adult. We can get into more videos like that in the future. Maybe I could even do an antisocial disorder video as well. So anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, like this video, share it with a friend. And thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day.